guys, and welcome back to the channel. You already know who it is. It's time for Wrench-a-holics, and today we have one thing to do on the 240. We are going to hardwire or rewire the fuel pump to a relay. The reason why we're doing that is when the car goes under heavy electrical load, what happens is that you drop voltage on the fuel pump, and what happens is that the fuel pump won't supply enough fuel to the engine, and then we all know we're boosted, and at high boost you do not want to lean out because we blow engines. So we're going to fix that issue by slapping on a relay, and that's going to supply the voltage and keep it constant on the fuel pump so that we can get the fuel from the tank to the engine. I'm going to do a walkthrough style, you know, pretty much this is what we got to cut, this is what we got to connect, and yada yada yada, so that the viewers out there who don't like to do wiring, this can probably be, you know, your first step into wiring, your intro into wiring, whatever you want to call it. I myself used to hate doing wiring, but over the years that I've owned a 240, you just gotta learn. You know, it's one of those skills that you just gotta learn. You know, it's pretty much you go through the diagram. There's always a start, there's an end, and in between those 2 points is a wire. So with that being said, let's get to it. Alright guys, so in order to do the fuel pump hardwire or rewire, you're going to need a 4-prong relay socket, which is right here. You can get the 5-1, you'll just, you know, you just won't use the 5th prong, but 4 or 5, depending on which one you get, it doesn't really matter. Again, all you need is just 4. So you need the socket, which is here, with pigtail, so it makes the installation easy. You'll also need a relay. Any automotive 40 or 30 amp relay will work, and you'll also need like a inline fuse holder, so that you can put a fuse in between the relay and the battery, just, you know, to protect the circuit. So first of all, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to decipher which of the wires on the relay socket is the main power wire, and we're going to go ahead and start working with that. So based on the diagram, power wire is going to be prong 30, and prong 30 corresponds with the red wire. So this wire will be connected to the fuse holder, which is right here, and this one will be connected to the battery using a 10 amp doesn't focus, but using a 10 amp fuse. Again, this is just so you can protect the circuit. So we'll get that done right now. So the power wire has been stripped. The next thing we're going to do is put some heat shrink or shrink wrap, whatever you guys want to call it. We're going to put it right here and then crimp down and connect it to the inline fuse holder, and then we're going to shrink down that heat wrap, and then what it's going to do is going to make sure that this seal doesn't break and this connection is solid. We're going to be doing that on the remainder side of the harness. We're going to go ahead and extend the harness and use a ring connector so that that can connect to the battery, and that should handle the power side of the relay. So I'm going to show you the finished product right now. Oh damn, something going on in the hood. I don't know. here's the finished product. Here's the relay, prong 30 connected to the red wire. We have a butt connector with a heat shrink, solid connection. Connected to that is the inline fuse holder with a 10 amp fuse. Corresponding side, the same thing, butt connected and heat shrink. Finish that off, we're going to go ahead and just put a ring connector on the end. And this is what's going to connect to the battery. The only reason why I did not do this is because I still don't know where I'm going to mount the relay. So I don't know how long the wire should be. So I'll cut it down to size once I figure everything out. A lot of debate. I know a lot of people are going to put some hate on this. But you can either do it this way or you can solder it. To me, I've done both and I've had success with both. So it doesn't matter to me. Only thing that matters is that this connection doesn't undo itself, and I'm pretty sure this is not going to undo itself. Again, let the haters hate. I've done both ways and I've had great success both ways. So again, does it really matter? It's a personal preference, so you do as you choose. But yeah, we're going to keep this thing going. To the trunk. Alright, so here we are in the trunk. As you can see, here it is. This is the fuel pump harness. I already cut out the protective wiring right here just so I can expose some wires. With this install, you only need 2 wires. Alright, that is 2 wires that we gotta mess with. And the wires in question are the blue and red, so basically a solid blue with a red chaser, and the white and purple, or the solid white with a purple chaser. Blue and red is the ground, so pretty much cut it, extend the wire, ground it to anywhere in the trunk. Make sure it's a good ground, because we all know with electrical circuits we want a good ground for a good connection. Okay, next wire is this white and purple. This one is the one that we're going to be messing with the most. So once you cut it in half, the wire closest to the fuel pump, we're going to call that pump side, and the wire closest to the connector itself, we're going to call that chassis side. Alright, so the wire on the pump side will be connected to prong 87 on your relay. Okay, 87 on the relay connects to the pump side, white and purple. Okay, prong 85 on the relay connects to the white and purple wire chassis side. So wire closest to the connector, prong 85. White and purple wire closest to the fuel pump, 87. And then the last one is prong 86, and prong 86 is a ground. So we can commonly ground that with the blue and red, or choose another ground in the trunk. Whichever way is best, just make sure that is a nice solid ground connection. So if you gotta scuff up the paint, make a good ground, you gotta do what you gotta do. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you the finished product. Alright, so I cut the wires. Blue and red on the pump side is the ground. White and purple on the pump side goes to prong 87. White purple on the connector side goes to prong 85. And prong 86 is the ground. So you can commonly ground the the blue and red wire with prong 86. Just as long as it's got a good ground connection, you can do that. Or you can just ground on multiple points. It's up to you. I think I'm going to commonly ground it. I'm just going to make sure I scuff up the paint or whatever in the trunk to make sure that's good. And we should be good to go. Alright. Alright, so I went ahead and connected the white and purple wires already. I didn't get it on film. I just, got stuck into working. So this is already connected. Last thing I got to do now is just connect the ground wire, and I should be good to go. Well, I should say ground wire and then the positive wire, and then I should be good. Common ground, I still haven't figured that out yet, but once I find the spot, I'll let you guys know. Alright, so I got everything hooked up. There's the relay, power source to the battery, got the fuse right here, and the ground wire runs along here and connects to this guy right here. It's kind of blurry, but yeah, it's sanded out and then connected it. So there it is. I'll clean up these wires in a little bit. Just want to test it out and see how everything works, and check back with you guys in just 1 second. Alright, here we go. We're going to test it out. So there is the ground tester lead on the battery. There is the volts. And here we go. I'm going to plug into the purple and white wire from the relay. There you have it. 13.8 volts, and that's going directly to the fuel pump. That means that the fuel pump is getting more than the OEM voltage, which I believe is around 11 or so. But yeah, so this is pretty much running not almost to its full capacity, but it's getting the volts so that you can get the fuel delivery from the fuel pump to your injectors. So there you have it. There's the tester lead, ground, 13.8. Alright guys, and as always, hype is for the moment and style is forever. Stop by my store, savageones.bigcartel.com. I'm coming out with some shift knobs. Actually, I'll show you what they look like. Just 1 second, hold on, here. Let's take you guys with me. Alright, shift knob. There you have it. That's a 130 length. It's 3D printed. I can make pretty much any one you want, 10 by 1.25 and whichever the other ones are, but there you go. That is the shift knob. I'm coming out with black. If I have a lot of response for the submarine gray, I'll come out with that. But yeah, so there it is. Once I get this in production, it'll be on the site. Hopefully by the end of this week, I'll finalize the design and then start pumping it out, as well as the shift boots. There it is. There's a couple styles. I don't have the all black shift boot on the website, but I will soon. I have the fabric. You can tell me whatever color you want the threading to be, and I can make that one as well. But yeah. Alright guys, deuces.